CWR Breakfast
with Phil Upton.
It's been a horrible morning this morning, really, in terms of rain, and it's been kind of on and off, hasn't it? And it's sort of been threatening to rain, and then it didn't, and now it is. And the forecast, which was for a dry day today, does actually look like we're going to get some more rain later on this morning. Turning to sunny spells, though, later on this afternoon, 21 Celsius. Forecast high for Coventry and Warwickshire today. James Luxford, BBC CWR's movie reviewer in Stratford-upon-Avon this morning. What's it like in Stratford this morning, James?
It's a little bit gloomy, yeah. Not quite what we've been used to in recent weeks.
Okay. Look, good to have you on this morning because we're going to be talking not just about movies now you can watch on the telly, but at last some movies that are open at the cinema. You came on and told us about Tenet last week, which was the big cinema release last week. And there's a big one opening up this Friday, isn't there?
Yes. Tomorrow it's The New Mutants, a spin-off of the X-Men movies about a group of young people with special powers held in a hospital by a mysterious organization.
The reason you survived is because you're a very uncommon girl. It's important we find out your power so we can help you get better.
I saw something I don't think she wanted me to see. I don't think we're here to get better.
This place takes your greatest fear and makes you live through it until it kills you.
The whole Avengers franchise was just phenomenally successful, made millions around the world, didn't it? At the box office. This is a kind of an attempt to keep that going, I guess.
Yes, this is sort of the continuation of the X-Men movies that began about 20 years ago. And it's really the last in the line because they're about to merge with the Avengers franchise, having been bought, with Fox being bought by Disney. And I have to say, this is a bit of a down note to go out on. It was intended to be a bit of a horror, but it's not particularly scary. The script is quite bad. If this is going up against Tenet, which came out last week, honestly, I think you're better off checking out that. This is sort of feels a bit sort of squeezed in, and sort of I suppose parked in a spot where hopefully people coming back to the cinema are going to see it because there's very little else on. However, I would recommend Tenet instead.
Okay, good. No, that's all right. And that's what you're here for, James. So given that's not so great, let's pick a couple of things we can be watching over the weekend that are cast iron winners then.
Yes, one cast iron winner is The Karate Kid, Saturday 7:30 on 5-Star on Freeview. The hit family action movie about a teenager who learns about karate and self-belief from his teacher, Mr. Miyagi.
For Daniel LaRusso, the future seemed far from terrific until he met the right girl. But that only angered the wrong guy. In the end, it will be in Daniel's hands, in his body, and most of all, in his mind.
It's one of these movies. It was kind of a coming-of-age movie. I certainly remember it, and watching it. It spawned 2 sequels, didn't it? Karate Kid 2, Karate Kid 3. Why was it so successful? You look back at it now, you just think it's a really odd plot and an odd, but it worked, didn't it? What was it about it that made it so good?
It absolutely worked. It was kind of like a Rocky for kids almost. You've got the training montages, the big match at the end, these kind of iconic sequences where he's learning how to stand up for himself. I think it's a really charming film, really well written, well conceived, and just some great performances. There's something very 1980s about it as well, quintessentially 1980s. It was remade in 2010 with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan, but I'll always have a soft spot for this movie. It's a really uplifting and I think really entertaining movie.
Karate Kid. It's on Saturday night, 7:30 on 5-Star. And your final pick takes us to Sunday.
Yes, it's Sunday, 7:35 on the Sony Movies channel, again on Freeview. It's The Man Who Knew Too Much, the classic Alfred Hitchcock thriller. James Stewart stars as a man who finds himself in danger after witnessing a murder.
Ladies and gentlemen, the famous Miss Doris Day has gladly consented to sing a few songs for us tonight.
Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be.
The cue for murder was one single crash of the cymbals.
I always think movies like this, James, I don't know about you, when it's a wet, horrible day outside, these are the kind of movies you can kind of draw the curtains on, and the classic black and whites, with the tense scenes that Hitchcock would, place these in, and the quality of the acting. Again, you can really immerse yourself in this, can't you?
Absolutely. It's just an excellent, tense movie, a lot of which was shot in London. Excellent finale at the Royal Albert Hall. James Stewart is just an incredible actor who always seemed to show a different side when he worked with Hitchcock on films like Vertigo, Rear Window, Rope. He's great here as an ordinary guy in the wrong place, as so many protagonists in Hitchcock movies are. And it's just so thrilling, and as you say, a perfect movie for sort of a wet day or when you just need to disappear into a really great story.
Good stuff. James, fantastic. Thanks as ever. James Luxford, movie critic from Stratford-upon-Avon, with some picks for you for your weekend's viewing ahead. And if you're not going to go to the cinema for Tenant, certainly not for New Mutants after that review, then Karate Kid, Saturday night, 7:30, 5-star. The Man Who Knew Too Much, Sunday, 7:35, Sony Movies channel. James's picks for you this morning. A couple of things just to keep you aware of if you are